back in October, the Texans lost a blowout in their first game against the Colts. Can Indianapolis sweep the series? The answer comes your way next on Madden Football.
Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
As we're off in Week 9. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. The Texans offense going to go to work, and it is Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
And he's exactly the man you want in control of your offense. Excellent arm, good zip on the ball, not afraid to use his legs when he needs to. And what he's excelled at doing is making plays when the first read isn't available or when the pressure's about to get to him.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And incomplete to open things up. These two teams met in Indy earlier in the year with the Colts coming out on top. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. He's letting it fly for Cooks. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a change-up.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visiting Colts who won that first matchup. So they'll look for the season sweep here back home in Indy. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. On is the punter long here as he sends this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Watson looks to throw again. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. They lost 4 there, and it's third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Here's Watson. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than 1 man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. They'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. He'll give this to Henderson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. On 1st down, Watson. And incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw, Watson. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. We're scoreless after 1. Watson on 1st down. He gets it to Cooks. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. On the jet sweep, they get this to Cooks. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now it's Watson. Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver, that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short,
and he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And Boswell's kick is good, and it's now 3-0 Texans. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Get ready. The Colts take over 1st and 10.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Now here's a throw that's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the 2nd quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So, kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. Oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
And they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. On first down, it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress. And I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On second down, back to Henderson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Watson. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
2nd and 1. That ball caught by Campbell. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Harris Campbell with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Colts on just 2 plays have taken the lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Houston set to take over. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Watson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, you probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Flush to his right. Finding some room at midfield. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And quickly they get to the line. Throws right side, and that's complete. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by McManus is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the 2nd half of the season. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and it's the Titans with the lead as they hit halftime. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Quarterback Justin Fields with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the 49ers as that one's gone to the half. Marlon Mack, a touchdown run in that first half. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for the Texans. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. Final adjustments taking place in both teams' locker rooms. We're closing in on the second half, and to bring it your way, let's go back up to Indianapolis and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? Four verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. And this is going to be a Colts first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
That is caught. Michael Pittman with it.
And able to get off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 39-yard line.
To the right side, this is Taylor.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 29-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game.
Got a man, it's Pittman, and he holds it in for the Colts touchdown. Michael Pittman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
That catch good for only a couple. You think about this strong safety position, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play.
Yeah, this defense as a whole has really been flying to the football all game long. They have not allowed too much of anything, and here's another example. A great play there to get in and disrupt it before it could get going.
And the next-gen stats tell the story as he was traveling at better than 19 miles an hour. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat, give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down inside Indy's 15-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On the draw, this is Henderson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Darius Leonard able to record his 5th sack of the season. First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Another try after the first down sack. Watson. That'll be swung out wide here for Henderson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That catch good for 8, but still, it's third and goal now. Here's Watson. Just keeping the play alive. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Boswell's kick is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminating touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
On second down, it's Taylor, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Justin Lane, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A lot loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
First down, Henderson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Off of play action, it's Watson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. KJ Hamler, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. But he will not get in here. He stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for two?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a give to Taylor. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 43 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Out to the right and complete to Pittman. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 5-yard line.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And McManus able to put it through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And remember, despite giving up the field goal, this is still a one-score game. They're in need of the touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A field goal on this drive likely doesn't do them much good. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Second and 6.
A shotgun snap for Watson. That's complete. It's Collins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Watson's throw there complete to Hamlin. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. The throw over the middle, taken in. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with third down coming up. Now Watson. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He spots Henderson open left side. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Watson to throw. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll make it a second down. Touchdown, Texans. Brevin Jordan, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the fourth. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And the failure to convert and tie the game, now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Working with 2nd and 5 now. They'll go option to the short side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll run on first down. Taylor, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. And they'll indeed take a knee. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. So this one winds up in Indianapolis victory. And I tell you what, they were big favorites coming in, but they had to work for this one.
It certainly wasn't the walk in the park that you expected coming into this one. I have a suspicion that in their meetings next week, head coach is going to talk to them a little bit about focus, don't you think?
Yeah, because down the stretch, there was some nail-biting going on. And you're right. I think not only the fans, but those folks inside that locker room, they expected a comfortable victory.
Yeah, they certainly did, and that just tells you about the NFL. Any given game, you never know how it's going to turn out. You'd better be ready to play.
So for Indianapolis, the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take